A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. Lima, Peru. In a scenario that could have played out differently, U.S. President Joe Biden arrived at the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation (APEC) Forum in Peru this week under a cloud of uncertainty, as the political landscape shifts dramatically with the looming prospect of a Donald Trump presidency. The summit, which gathers world leaders to discuss trade and economic cooperation, is overshadowed by the echoes of Trump's America First doctrine, which appears poised to pull the United States back into a more isolationist stance. Experts suggest that this shift hampers Biden's ability to project confidence and reinforce the United States' influence in a region where China is rapidly expanding its foothold. President Xi Jinping of China is set to inaugurate a $1.3 billion megaport in Chancay, just northeast of Lima, a project that symbolizes China's growing presence in Latin America. The port, developed in partnership with the Peruvian company Vulcan, is expected to serve as a crucial trade hub, cutting shipping times to Asia by 10 days and transforming the logistics landscape along the Pacific coast from the U.S. to Chile. This development has raised eyebrows, as it highlights the strategic reorientation of Latin American countries towards China, with many nations seeking to enhance their supply chains through this new infrastructure. Margaret Myers, director of the China and Latin America program at the Inter-American Dialogue, commented, "This isn't the way the U.S. had hoped to participate in the summit. All eyes are going to be on the port, what she says about it, and how he articulates relations across the Pacific." With U.S. influence seemingly waning, the perception that China is a more favorable partner is gaining traction in the region. Eric Farnsworth, vice president at the Council of the Americas, noted that the notion of choosing between the U.S. and China is a strategic defeat for the United States. The dynamics of trade have shifted dramatically in the past 2 decades, with China's trade with Latin America increasing 35-fold from 2000 to 2022, reaching nearly $500 billion. This growth has been driven largely by exports from South America, particularly in commodities such as soybeans, copper, and iron ore. In contrast, the U.S. has struggled to maintain its competitive edge in the region, with many Latin American countries opting to strengthen ties with China, which has invested heavily in infrastructure projects across the continent. The Chancay megaport is a testament to this trend, as it will not only serve Peru but also provide a gateway for neighboring countries like Chile and Colombia to engage in direct trade with Asia, bypassing traditional routes through the U.S. and Mexico. As Biden navigates the complexities of his first presidential trip to South America, he faces the challenge of addressing concerns over Chinese investments in the region. U.S. officials have raised alarms over potential security risks associated with Chinese telecom investments, particularly regarding the Chinese tech giant Huawei. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin has warned that China is exploiting the need for investment in the Americas to advance its malign agenda. Despite the U.S. government's objections to Chinese influence, experts argue that the U.S. has not demonstrated the capability or willingness to match China's infrastructure investments in Latin America. The Biden administration launched the Indo-Pacific Economic Framework to integrate regional economies and counterbalance China's influence, but Trump's potential return to the White House raises questions about the future of such initiatives. Trump has openly criticized trade agreements like the Indo-Pacific Economic Framework, pledging to dismantle them if he regains power. As APEC unfolds in Lima, the competition between the U.S. and China is expected to dominate discussions, with Xi's presence and the inauguration of the Chancay port serving as a stark reminder of the shifting geopolitical landscape. Analysts predict that the hard-nosed rivalry between the two powers will overshadow the summit, with Xi poised to capitalize on Biden's political vulnerabilities. The summit will see participation from leaders of various Asia-Pacific nations, including Russia, Japan, South Korea, and Australia, as they gather to discuss trade and economic cooperation. However, the specter of renewed global trade tensions under Trump looms large, with concerns that his administration would revert to unilateralist policies that could further strain international relations. As the world watches the developments at APEC, the implications of U.S.-China competition in Latin America will likely resonate beyond the summit, shaping the future of trade and diplomacy in the region. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.